Stulzig's classroom workshop. Today, as you can tell, we're doing things a little bit different. We are outside in our backyard observing one of our favorite things, nature. If you can listen, you can hear the sights, you can hear the sounds of nature. Right now there's a car going by, but if you listen carefully, you're going to hear some birds tweeting every once in a while, some wildlife. So today we are going to be talking to you about, what are we going to talk about, girls? Trees. Okay? A tree is a plant with a stem made of wood. So a tree is a plant. The stem is called a trunk. So we're going to imagine this part of our body is the trunk. So here we go. A trunk is covered in bark. We have some bark. So a trunk is covered in bark. Bark does for the tree what your skin does for you. So bark is like your skin. Stops the weather, the bugs, and the germs getting through. So bark helps protect the tree just like your skin protects you. Roots are the parts of the tree that we usually don't see very much, but they hold up a tree. They quench its thirst, drop water, and even some minerals from the ground. So we have our stem, which is called the trunk. Our trunk is covered in bark. The bark protects it just like our skin. And way down at the bottom, anchoring it in, holding, bringing up all the minerals is the roots. Very good. So we're going to share with you a little bit, and bear with us as we get these posters up so hopefully you can see them. I'm going to have my helpers hold it. So let's move a little bit closer. Okay. Let me put yours down on it. So if you can see from my drawing, I have my roots down here below the surface. I have my grass, and I have the trunk of my tree with some branches and some shoots. The trunk and branches, leaves, and the shoots bring water and mineral up from the roots. They create the food that the tree needs to eat. So they gather all those water and minerals from the roots, and they carry it up through the trunk, branches, leaves, and shoots, and that helps feed the tree. They mix water up with rays from the sun, add carbon dioxide, and when the leaf's done, it gives oxygen we need to survive. So it's going to, the leaves, trunks, branches, and shoots are going to bring up waters and minerals from the roots. They're going to help create the food for the tree. It's going to mix up here with the water and the rays from the sun, add in some carbon dioxide, and when it's done, it's going to give us the oxygen we need. We're going to talk about that in 1 second. So go ahead and put that over there really fast, my helpers. We're going to talk about that carbon dioxide and the oxygen and how important trees are for us. So as you can see here, I have my poster, and it's called Atmosphere. So plants, remember a tree is a plant, create oxygen with photosynthesis. Remember how I was talking in that last one, how it mixes up with the sun's rays and adds the carbon dioxide? That's a fancy word for photosynthesis. So the plants create oxygen with photosynthesis, gives us oxygen. Animals, plants, and people breathe in the oxygen. That's what we're breathing in right now. Take a deep breath. We need this oxygen. When we breathe in that oxygen. When we let it out, we are giving off carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide goes to the tree. The tree needs our carbon dioxide. So we say we like to give the tree a kiss of life. So let's give the trees a kiss of life. One more time. So we need the tree and the tree needs us. All right. While they're putting that poster away, I want to see if you can think of something that a tree might need. What might a tree need to survive? Do you have some ideas? Shout them out if you do. All right, let's see what trees need. Trees need water, sunlight, and that carbon dioxide. Remember that kiss we gave them? They need water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide. And our posters are coming back. All right, go ahead and put that over there. You can maybe put a rocker stick on it. There are lots of trees. As you can see, we have lots of different trees around us. We even have a tree that has fallen down from the last storm. And that tree is very important too, because over time it's going to be called a nurse log, and it's going to help serve lots of different purposes. So even trees that have fallen down are still going to be giving life to things. So there are lots of ways to identify a tree. You can identify a tree through its bark. Remember we talked about the bark and it protecting the tree? So one way is bark. Another way is leaves. There are lots of different leaves. And this is something, I'm going to read stories later to you, but this is something that you could research on your own too and ask your parents. Different types of leaves. We have broadleaves, conifer, the way they grow on a tree, whether they're one to a branch, two to a branch, whether their branches are staggered, so lots of different ways. And then we can identify them through their seeds or their fruit. Can you hand me a couple of the seeds back there, the cones? So you can identify them through their seeds or their fruit. One thing that is so important, boys and girls, for you to understand is if you don't know where this cone came from, a lot of times kids will refer to these as pine cones. And they will pick up every cone they find and call them a pine cone. Well, cones have names just like you and I do. Anna, Chloe, Mrs. Stolzig. We don't call each other the same name. Just like cones, we don't call them the same name. So you identify a cone from the tree that it fell off of. So you will go and find the kind of tree, and then you will refer to it like a Douglas fir would be a Douglas fir cone. A pine cone comes from a pine tree. So that's something that you can work on and investigate. One fun thing to do is to collect different samples, put them in a book, and then do a research on it. Check out the stem, check out the bark, check out the leaves, check out the seeds or fruit, and then you can look on books on the internet, ask your parents, and try to figure out what kind of tree it belongs to. I want to see if you can think of, besides oxygen, what do trees give us? I'm going to give you a second to think of as many things as you can that trees give us. What do trees give us? All right. Hopefully you came up with some things. We're going to share with you some of the things that we came up with that trees give us. Trees give us paper bags. Chloe, would you mind opening that up? And as I share the things, we're going to toss them into our paper bag. Trees give us toilet paper, something that's very important. Trees give us syrup. A maple tree, a certain type of maple tree, will give us maple syrup. Trees give us furniture. Trees, some trees can give us gum, bubble gum. Trees can also give us chocolate. Trees give us different types of food and fruits, like this apple from an apple tree. Trees give us air when it's hot. They also give us what, girls? Oxygen. Trees give us wood for building things. Trees help us build our homes. Trees give animals a home or a habitat, a shelter. Trees also give monkeys a place to live and climb and play, and a banana to eat. And on a hot sunny day, trees give us shade. So these are some of the things that we came up with that trees give us. We would really love it if you could come up with some things that around your house, outside your house, that trees have given to you. So one thing that we're going to talk to you also about that's a fun thing to do is to count the rings on a tree. So this tells you how old a tree is. Each ring is a year in the life of the tree. When there are giant gaps between the rings, that meant it was very healthy. There was lots of water, plenty for the tree to grow. When the rings are really close together, that meant there was not a lot of water that year. So that's a fun thing to do, is to help count the rings on a tree. We like to call these tree cookies. Nom, 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 nom. So we're going to kind of review. Trees need water, sunlight, and the carbon dioxide that we give them. And trees, in return, give us all of those wonderful things we listed before. And one of the most important things we need is the oxygen. So, to all of that, we say, thank you, trees. Thank you. So we hope you enjoy this, and we hope you get out into nature and observe. Arbor Day is coming up, Earth Day. It's a great day, if you can, to get out and plant a tree, and to remember when you see those fallen trees that they're doing a job as well. So we hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.